Hey guys, welcome back. So I got a video for y'all today all about this palette right here. This is the BH Cosmetics Desert Oasis 19 color shadow and highlighter palette. So as usual, we're gonna talk about the pricing, we'll look at the packaging, we'll look at some swatches. I'll talk to you guys about the formula of these shadows and highlighters in here and how they are to work with, my overall thoughts and opinions on this palette, and then I will also show you a tutorial on this look right here. So yeah, let's get to it. So the price of this palette may vary if you get it from BH Cosmetics and they have some kind of a sale going on at the time, or if you get it from Ulta and you use a coupon or they have a sale or something. So it may vary, but retail price it's $22. This is what the outside sleeve looks like. So it's very just bright and metallic and just a really beautiful, when I look at this palette, I just think bright, glowy, warm, but more bright than warm. So this is what the outside of the actual palette looks like. So it is a nice sturdy cardboard packaging. It does have a mirror in here, which is a functional mirror. So here is what the layout of the palette looks like. So you've got eyeshadows over here, and then you've got highlighters over on this side. So there aren't a ton of mattes in here. There are only 5 matte shadows in here, and then the rest of the things in here are either shimmery, metallic-y eyeshadows or metallic-y shimmery highlighters. So I'm not mad about that, but I mentioned this when I mentioned this in my Friday favorites. If I were to change anything about this palette, it would maybe be like if they'd added in a contour color and maybe a really neutral blush color, then it would kind of be more of a do-it-all sort of palette, but I mean, it's still so pretty. I still really, really love it. But if I were like kind of grasping at straws, looking for something to change, that's maybe something that I would tweak about it a little bit. But overall, a very neutral palette, very bright palette, but there are some warm colors thrown in here, like, or not warm colors, these are cool, but warm in this regard right here. So it's got those warm shades in there, but then it's also got these cool, bright colors in here as well. So it does have that kind of desert oasis sort of a look. So great name for it, totally matches the theme of the palette. So really like the overall scheme of what you're getting in here. Now for some swatches, starting on the top left side of the palette, this is Moonscape, Quartz, Canyon, Sand, Terrain, Prickly Pear, Cactus, Dune, Nightscape, Turquoise, Mineral, Sandstone, Heat Haze, Hot Spring. Highlighters over here, this is Serenity, Bliss, Mirage, Utopia, Hideaway. So there are all the swatches. Beautiful. As far as the formula on this palette, I would say that this is darn near perfect. As long as you don't mind a shadow that has kind of a thicker sort of a formula to it, also highlighters as well, that thicker sort of a formula that's just got more binder in it or something like that. As long as you're okay with that formula, which I totally am, I think you would love this palette because all of the shimmery shades, including the highlighters, are so intensely pigmented and really, really beautiful. I mean, they pack a punch, they build on themselves, they wear well. The highlighters do, they can accentuate texture a little bit just because it is that thicker sort of formula. So that's, you know, a possible negative to them. But with that sort of a thicker formula, you just get this intensity that is so beautiful. So I am not mad about it. I think it's beautiful. I love the formula on the shimmery shadows and also the highlighters. And then the mattes, oh my goodness. They are so buttery and just a really, really nice formula. They are not super soft. They don't kick up a lot of product in the pan or on the face. A little bit in the pan, but really I don't notice fallout with them as long as I tap off my brush. They are super pigmented, so you don't need a ton of product when you're applying them. So if you do apply too much product, you might get a little bit of fallout in that case. But just such a nice buttery texture to them. Super pigmented, easy to blend. They blend well together. I just think that this formula is so good. So overall, thoughts and impressions and review on this palette. I absolutely love it. It is one of my very favorite palettes I've ever tried from BH Cosmetics. I would love if they came out with more palettes like this. Like, if they keep this matte formula and this sort of shimmery formula, I'm gonna be all about it and totally collect them all because I am super duper impressed with this and I love the overall theme to it, that bright, beautiful theme. I just love it. Okay, so I've already applied some eyeshadow primer, so I'm gonna take some of Sand on this Moda crease brush to set that. I'm gonna get some of Canyon on a Cozette S175 brush and apply this into my crease and transition area and just build this up and blur this out. This really is a pigmented shadow, so a little bit goes a long way with it for sure, but it blends really easily. I want just a really bright, fun eye look, so I'm gonna get some of Terrain on a flat concealer brush and I'm gonna apply this all over my lid. To intensify this, I'm gonna get some setting spray and wet my brush and apply more. For even more brightness, I'm gonna get some of Mineral on a small brush. This is a Real Techniques detailer brush. I'm gonna get some of that on my brush, spray it with some setting spray, and apply this on the inner half of my lid. Dabbing a little bit on with my finger. These are just so pretty, and you can really just make them as intense as you want them. I'm gonna take a small crease brush and get some of Dune and apply this in the outer corner of my eyes. Dabbing just a little bit of Terrain back into the middle of my lid just because I want it nice and light and bright. Now for just a smidgen more dimension, I'm gonna get some of Nightscape on that same brush, just a tiny little bit of this, and apply just a teensy bit of this in my outer corner. I mean, I am barely tapping, and then I'm gonna blend it in. I just want a little bit more dimension, but I don't want it to be super crazy dark. Now I'm gonna apply some liner and mascara to my upper lash line and upper lashes. I'm gonna use my Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper and my IT Cosmetics Superhero. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. I went ahead and applied some concealer, powder, and bronzer. So for my lower lash line, I really wanna keep it light and bright. So I'm gonna get some of Hideaway on a BH Cosmetics number 10 brush. I love this little brush for lower lash line work. It's perfect. And just gonna run this along. I'm also gonna take the tiniest little bit of Dune and apply that to my outer corner, just the tiniest little bit, like literally just right out there. Gonna go ahead and apply some CoverGirl Clump Crusher to my lower lashes and also some blush, and I'll be right back to do highlighter. Okay, so for my inner corner highlight, I'm gonna get some of Serenity on a little pencil brush from BH Cosmetics. Yeah, I think this is the one I wanna use. I was examining and making sure. Just your hair on it. Just gonna dab this on the inner corners of my eyes. I just look at this palette and I think light, bright, glowy makeup. That's just what it screams to me. Then for on my cheekbones, I'm gonna get a little bit of Mirage to start with. I'm using a Pro Setting Brush by Beauty Junkees. Can I apply this a little bit lower? I am barely touching because these are mega pigmented. Just kind of blending this a little bit into my blush, so kind of like a blush topper. Then I'm going to take some of Serenity and apply this higher up, kind of more on my actual cheekbones and bringing it up along the side of my temples. Alright guys, so that wraps up this video. So I hope that you really enjoyed it and I hope it was helpful for you. Please do a thumbs up if it was. Let me know down below if you've tried this palette. What do you think about it? I would love to know your thoughts and opinions. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!